Welcome back to Financial Independence 101. This is Mike. Today I want to talk to you about ID 2020. I want to talk to you about why it's so bad, why we all need to say no to it instantly, fight this 100%. Do not accept this. Do not be part of this. I'm going to explain that. You need to share this video. You need to share all this information with everybody that you know. Coming up. First thing I want to say is there are a lot of companies that are involved in this. They say it's a big project and it's a large challenge and it's a huge reach, and of course it is. But I'm going to explain to you sort of what it is and what they're saying that the benefits are. So first of all, this is an ID. It's a digital ID worldwide for every single human being on the planet. All 7.7 billion people will have this digital ID. And so with that, they say there's already like 1.5 billion. There's only 1.5 billion out of the 7+ billion that don't have an ID. Okay, so there it is. We're trying to ID those last 1.5 billion. But we're going to do it to everybody. And then with this worldwide ID, they say, well, now these people can take part in the economy. So I don't know about you, but I don't have any trouble getting a driver's license, my social security card, and a credit card, and being able to engage in the economy, a bank account. Well, they say you can get a bank account. You'll have the ability to vote. Well, I don't have any trouble voting. Everyone in the US, it's easy for you to get this stuff. It's not hard. Why would we want to submit to it? And then looking at it, also social inclusion. So they talk about something called social inclusion, where they're going to help people. Basically, they're going to give you money. The government's going to give you money. Using this will be your new, say, food stamp card, and those kinds of things would be loaded onto your digital ID. Then with that, your digital ID it's safer. So ID theft would go down. They wouldn't be able to steal it. All of this is wrong. Every single thing that they said is a benefit of this is absolutely 100% entirely wrong. It is to steal your liberty and your freedom from you forever. And why would you want to give up freedom and liberty? I can tell you right now, I don't want to give up any of my freedoms. I don't give up any of my liberty. But this is also associated at the same time with a war on cash. So with this digital ID, they would do away with cash. Now, we know there's been a war on cash for a long time. One of the reasons the government doesn't want cash circulating as much is because if you do transactions in cash, they can't tax it. They can't track it. It's like it never even happened. It's the same as, well, the barter system. Well, I can tell you right now, I'd rather be on the barter system than use this ridiculous nonsense that they're proposing that we do. But it gets even worse and deeper than this. There's already a proposal that sometime this year, you're not going to be able to fly. I think it's October of 2020. You won't be able to fly unless you have a new ID that falls into the regulations, a real ID. Which, by the way, I don't care. I don't mind. You got a little stamp on my driver's license, whoop-de-doo. I'm perfectly fine with that. But that's not at all what ID 2020 is. ID 2020 is actually going to insert a little microchip into your hand. And that's how you're going to pay for things. That's how they're going to track your vaccinations. That's how they're going to do a lot of controlling of you. They're going to know where you are every second of the day, where you went. You know what? That is giving up your freedom. 100%. I don't want to do it. I don't want something inserted in me. It's against Christianity, wholeheartedly against Christianity, and I'm not going to do it. It's against religion, and maybe the one good thing out of this is saying, hey, maybe I've been a bit of a lazy Christian. I haven't been talking about my beliefs, so I need to talk about my beliefs. You know what? This is my motivation now to start talking about my beliefs a whole lot more, because you're not going to take my freedom away. I'm sorry. So let's get into the whole mark of the beast. I mean, I'm sure you've heard this before. So with it, we're going to start at the top here, Revelation 13, 16, 18. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. And so, who is that? Well, that is the Antichrist, the beast, And with all of this, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be part of this. I'm not going to be part of this whole charade that's going on. But let me ask you something else. There's only one of two scenarios that plays out here. If we have to get something implanted in our hand to be able to buy anything at the store, then one of two things happen. There's only two scenarios. There's not 15 scenarios. There's not 7 scenarios. There's not even 3 scenarios. There's 2 scenarios. Scenario number 1 is the Bible predicted this a long time ago, and it's just playing out. God told us about it. Man put it in writing in the Bible, and therefore here it is. Man's writing this down but not really understanding it, but writes it down anyway, and God has predicted it and it's coming true. That's scenario number 1. I got to tell you, I do believe in the Bible. I read my Bible. I believe in the Bible. I don't read it nearly as much, and I don't talk about it nearly as much. But I think scenario number 2 is actually more realistic. This is to do in spite of the Bible, or to spite God, or to spite the Bible. That makes a lot more sense. You know, it's already written. Everybody knows about it. It's been common knowledge forever. And now it's like, okay, let's go ahead and do this. Let's do this because this would be the most spiteful thing we could do to spite Christianity. I don't know why anybody would want to do that. Now, I do know that we've seen this whole debate going on in the U.S. forever. What debate is that? Well, that's a debate of the separation of church and state. And so your ability to actually believe in whatever religion you want. You are free in the U.S. to have your own religious beliefs. And guess what? Almost every time, in almost every court case, religion wins versus state. So with this, the First Amendment of the United States Constitution talks about the American separation of church and state, and that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religions, meaning not forcing religion on you or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, so that they can't keep you from practicing your religion. It's right there. It's the First Amendment. There it is. And have we seen this before? Have we seen this practiced, this mark in your hand, and you use it for consumerism? Well, yeah, this My 32 Market, whatever, they did it. And, here it is.
Microchips to replace ID badges. It's hosting a chip day party to implant the devices in the employees, and our guy Ron Mott is at the party. Hey Ron, how is it?
Hey Hoda and Matt, good morning to you both. We all know people complain that their companies treat them like machines. Well, 3 Square Market is sticking it to their folks today using these needles. Now let me show you first what this microchip looks like. It is about the size of a grain of basmati rice. So Patrick here is the CIO. Andy is a licensed body piercer, so let it rip. We're going to see this now. I got it. I can't look. I can't look. Needle is in. Chip is in.
Bingo.
Not very much blood at all. Patrick, how'd it feel?
Better than getting my wisdom teeth out.
Okay, you're still conscious.
Yeah, I'm great.
Melissa got chipped yesterday, but you had to be talked into doing this. How long did it take you to say yes to this?
I was a little hesitant at first, but I had 7 days to think about it, and once I learned the facts, there was no question in my mind.
Okay, one last thing we want to show you over here. Hold on, Matt. Go ahead, Steve. They can buy their goodies here in the break room by just using their hand. Real quickly, he's going to get a Kit Kat bar. And it's paid for $1.06, guys. So the question again, as we asked you last week, are you ready to be chipped, guys? Let's send it back to you.
Wow.
I'm kind of I don't know that I would do it.
No?
Would you do it?
I don't. For the convenience of it,
Yeah.
maybe?
Maybe?
Yeah. I don't know.
Not for a Kit Kat bar. Well, thanks. Hey, let's go to Dylan. Dylan's got more. You've been asking folks about it.
It's easy to keep around.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Then what you do, you go.
I remember hearing this story, watching videos about this, and thinking, can this really be true? And it's funny because this one lady didn't want to do it. She was almost forced into it. This is almost, well, it's not as bad. Maybe it is as bad as how unions, it feels like a unionization kind of thing, which, again, I need to make another video about that, but let's move on. So last thing I want to talk about is identity theft. And with that, they try to say this is more secure, you're not going to get your identity stolen, and I disagree with that, 100%. I mean, I don't agree with that in the slightest. And here's the thing. I have not liked the idea of retinal scans. Anything that's a retinal scan identifier, whether it's going to be to open a door or to access something that's really important, I don't like that idea. I don't even want, I don't have an iPhone. I would never buy an iPhone, absolutely, under any circumstances. It's too locked down for me. I can't use every function. But when you look at this, the thumbprint identifier, I wouldn't want that for two reasons. I mean, obviously, sci-fi movies have really shown the kind of stuff that can happen with cutting off your thumb and using it for the identifier temporarily to steal your identity or cutting your eye out or whatever. But see, with this, that's not even the concern. If everybody has to have some sort of a scanning device, some sort of identifier, like they say an app on your phone or something along those lines, whatever, but if you have to have some sort of way to scan your own identity out of your hand, your microchip, then everybody has access to scanning your information. Therefore, it makes it even easier to steal your identity instead of just somebody stealing your credit card. Now, there's ways people can scan your credit card when they're walking by you. That's why you have to buy these special magnetic or, kind of lead wallets or something, whatever they do to keep the scans from working. So all that kind of stuff. And I haven't had really issues with that, but imagine if everybody has the technology in their hands to scan you so that you can do a transaction together. Think about it. There is so much more chance that that's going to get exploited, and they could easily develop the technology to walk by, scan you, take everything, drain your accounts before you even get home from the store. Did I mention that this is not just going to be the United States? It's going to be the goal here of old Bill Gates is to hit every human being on the planet with this. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want him to know where I am. I mean, maybe I should have some tracking of him. Do I get a little something on my desktop where I can track this is exactly the spot where Bill Gates is right now? I mean, if I don't get that for him, he's not going to get that for me. And I want to tell you a little bit about this whole globalism and all this stuff. A lot of people talk a lot of conspiracy theory, but I think that what Bill Gates has in this isn't a conspiracy theory thing. It's very simple. He was the richest man in the world for a while. He's no longer the richest man in the world. And I know that when you look at some dictatorships in other countries, those people that own the entire country as a dictator obviously have way more wealth than any one U.S. citizen could have. But if you think about the business world, if you can create a product that every single person would want or need, then you would make the most money. But in this case, you're creating a product that every single person will get forced on them, but it will get bought for every single person. You think 7 billion people, how much would a microchip cost? It's not going to cost 12 cents a microchip. It's probably going to cost 30, 50, 100 bucks, however much they decide to charge, right? Times 7 billion. Imagine that. We could see the first trillionaire coming out of this if this truly works. I think Bill Gates really wants to just be the first trillionaire. That's my belief. I mean, a lot of people say a whole lot of other things and his goals behind this. I'm just going to step on the sidelines on that one. I think Bill Gates' goal with this is to do this and become the first trillionaire. Think about that for a little bit. Anyway, let me know what you think about all of this. I mean, there's a petition to sign. I'll talk about that. Sign that petition. And like, subscribe. Financial Independence 101 out.